So, guys, I've recently checked out the Day Before's latest trailer, and it looks as though we are actually getting a game. It's actually going down. Now, within this video, I'm going to tell you my thoughts about what I have seen and what potentially could be this game's future, right? Is it an inevitable failure? I think it might be. But there is that small window of hope that could lead us to believe otherwise. Because to put it blank, we just don't know what the future entails for this game. So within this video here, guys, I plan to discuss my thoughts and give you guys the real on how I feel about the Day Before. Now, if that sounds good to you, make sure that you like this video. And also, if you have not done so already, consider subscribing today. Thank you. So within the latest trailer, it looks as though that we have a story surrounding the Day Before. It seems as though that all hell breaks loose and there are essentially essential survivors that have survived this, I guess, outbreak of some sort, right? And I don't know how they're going to connect the dots with the story. I don't think it's going to be per se a good one. I feel as though that it's just going to be like something where it's like you go to a base and then you just receive little missions and things to do and you just keep it moving like that. Which there's nothing inherently wrong with that at all. Like I think that's fine, but I don't think the story is going to be anything to write home about at all. But I will say on the plus side, the creator character system, that actually looks pretty decent. That looks good. That looks good. So if you're into creating a character, this should be right up your alley because it actually looks like it's a decent system. So bravo for that. You know what I mean? But as we move on and view the trailer here, I can't help to ask myself, like, really, what is this shooter? Like, what is this game? Is it a survival shooter overall? Is it a PvE extraction shooter? Now, mind you, they told it as a MMO survival game, right? But it's giving extraction vibes too as well. So I don't really know where to pit the Day Before. It's kind of having an identity crisis, if you would. So I need to see what it is for myself when I actually play this title and get my hands on it. But it seems as though like it's doing like a hybrid of everything that we kind of come to know as of late from shooters, right? And I don't know if it's going to do a good job in doing so. But again, we'll ultimately find out. The game actually looks okay, right? I'm not feeling those toy cars looking thing and these Woodbury points. Lord help us. But the game looks okay on the surface. Now, discussing the shooting here in mechanics, I don't know what to make of the game. It looks like it has different ways of presenting its gameplay, right? Sometimes we see like this over-the-shoulder type look in third person, and I fucking love it. You already know me. I love it. Yeah. Okay, that looks dope. And then you have this first-person perspective that just looks like just generic first person type of stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like okay, but the thing that's gonna really set the Day Before apart in the gameplay department is going to be the feel of how the weapons shoot and stuff. Some games, I'll admit, some first person shooters look like generic shooters, right? Like where it's like, okay, I get the premise, like this is how the gameplay goes, you point and shoot, but looks could be deceiving. Sometimes you'll play a game and it might look that way, but when you feel it, you're like, whoa, this has some soul to it. This feels good to get frags and kills and different things like that. So this could be the case for the Day Before. Fingers crossed. But we'll see. I'm not really too sure, again, with how the gameplay is looking. It looks okay visually, but again, till we get our hands on it, till I get my hands on this game, we just don't know what we're getting, and hopefully it's good. And also they showed some type of stash house in the game, like some type of ranch safe area, right, where you could actually decorate the inside and actually store some of your items that you get from your quests and different things like that. That's a pretty cool touch. I don't know how in depth they go with this system here. Again, it could be some surface level stuff that's just really shallow in the experience overall, but we just don't know. I think it's cool though. And again, I don't know how we go about incorporating and going into these areas using Woodbury points, But I don't understand that whole ecosystem of the Woodbury points. It seems odd. It's not too clear at the current moment, but we'll see. But it's nice to see safe houses in us able to do different things of that nature within the day before. Now, guys, December 7th is the early access release date for the day before. Be excited, some of you. I know some of y'all are jumping for joy at home, all right? Wish listed number 1. It might be number 2 right now, but number 1 at one time. So I know some of y'all are excited. This game has a lot to prove to a lot of people, including myself. I mean, especially me. But I don't know what we are to really expect from this game here, right? The pedigree of this development team, these folks have been known for other games in the past, but it has been nothing like this on this level or have this magnitude of hype behind it, respectively, right? And they really have been stumbling in the marketing, in the presentation, and just constant delays. Heck, we even had a delay till now, right? December 7th, right? This game was supposed to come out in November. But here we are, right? The day before is going to be either hit or miss very, very quick. Very, very quick. We'll ultimately know what's what within the launch week of this title, right? And inevitably, it's looking like it could be a failure. Could be. But I will say this. I will say this, though. This is the best presentation that this game has had to date. Factually. I don't care what anybody says. You could be a hater of the day before. You could be for the day before. This game looked the best it has ever looked as it was just presented recently. And I give them kudos there. I give them kudos. It is what it is, right? I don't like how the narrator was going about things. And so that was very bland and weak to me. But this was a pretty solid presentation. And we have a game. Officially, we have a game. So it seems as though that we're going to get all our questions answered very, very soon, December 7th. And guys, the pricing is looking to be about around $40 US. $40 early access game. Boy, if they get to have this thing released at full price later on, they're going to get a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money out of a lot of people. Okay. Now, I'm not too mad at that price at all. It is what it is. People call their prices whatever you deem your game to be at. Call it. It is what it is. Some games price tags are warranted and others not so much. My opinion about the day before, what it's offering, $40 seems to be reasonable, right? It seems to be reasonable. We'll see what happens with the experience, because if they nail it and hit a home run with us and knock it out the park, that's going to be $40 well spent. But then we have the other side of the spectrum. If the game's a shitty experience and it's nothing that we care for, oh boy, they're going to be talked about for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. So we're going to see what ultimately happens the day before. It definitely should be something that you should be excited for if you were looking forward to this title, and also skeptical if you were kind of walking on eggshells about this release here. Not too confident. But either way, I am going to be there day one, checking this thing out and seeing what it's hitting for, man. Me, myself, personally, I'm excited to see what this game has to offer, and hopefully good things come of it. I don't like to see failed games, but shit happens. You feel me? Shit happens. You know. But thank you guys for watching this video here. If you did not check out my last video, be sure to click here, and I'll be sure to see you there.